Fun fact: fashion in India is as ancient as human civilization. Did you know that the Aheli fashion has been interwoven with India's rich culture, history, and different regions over the ages? We're now seeing a combination of decades of knowledge of various fashion trends that have evolved and passed down from generation to generation. During the Indus Valley Civilization in ancient India, clothing was primarily produced from locally grown cotton. People from the wealthy and prosperous areas wore imported silk clothing, such as the sari worn by women, while the remaining wore clothing from local textiles. Knee-length skirts were worn with bangles, necklaces, earrings, anklets, rings, and other jewelry made of silver, copper, gold, and stones such as turquoise and quartz. Hello and welcome to today's video, where as usual, we talk all fashion. Do you find the Indian style interesting? Well, if you do, count yourself lucky. Today we shall be talking about Aheli fashion, its history, and how it evolved. But before we do, subscribe, like, and you can also leave a comment for us in the comments section about what ethnic group fashion style you wish us to talk about. Stay tuned until the end, and I'm sure you'll come across some interesting facts about the fashion style you didn't know about. In India, the fashion industry encompasses a broad spectrum of items, from extravagant wedding gowns to casual attire. Krewal, chikan, and zardasi, three classic Indian embroidery techniques, have paved their way onto the international forefront of the catwalk, depicting Indo-Western clothing in a mix of the best of East and West. Apart from these, Kanjivaram, Mysore, Pochampali, Jamdani, Blucher, Pithani, Banarasi, Bandini, and Sambulpuri all reflect a distinct blend of silk and cotton saris. Herodotus, a Greek historian, highlighted the productiveness of cotton clothing in India in the 5th century BC. Take a look at how India's fashion business has changed throughout the years. Vedic Fashion. Women covered themselves in single fabric over their shoulder throughout the Vedic period, comparable to the garments used by Iranian and Greek women. A shawl fabric was draped around their shoulders, and a lower pleated garment, paridana, was wrapped around their waist with a belt, mikala udariya. During the winter seasons, pravana was the clothing worn underneath. Both men and women wore these clothes. The only difference was in the size and manner in which they were worn. Gupta Fashion. During this time, royal clothes stitching became prominent. Clothes can now be sculpted into lovely garments and worn. The sari, a long fabric draped around a woman's body, was the most popular choice among women. Later, the choli, a blouse that concealed a woman's upper torso, was developed. The official costume of the nobles and courtiers was a long-sleeved brocaded tunic. The king wore a finely woven silk antariya with a blue block design. The guys wore the antariya around their hips and between their legs. It then ran down to the ankles from the waist. During this time, males wore long and curly hair and adorned it with headpieces. The women accessorized their hair with jeweled hairbands, ringlets, or flower or pearl chaplets. During this time, weaving and needlework were famous. The sari, or sari, as well as the muslin cloth, were embroidered with gold or pearls and worn by the wealthy. Indian fashion has seen significant modifications by the conclusion of the dynasty eras, which may still be observed in the business now. Mughal Fashion. During the Mughal Empire, King Akbar's distinct clothing style influenced how others dressed. It was a mashup of Hindu and Muslim art and culture. He wore a long kurta with a jacket, as seen in Sherwani patterns, and a simple turban with a gemstone. Pearl strings, massive rings that reflected his royal status, and an emerald-adorned waistline were among the expensive jewels he wore. Jodha, his wife, had amazing fashion sense. From her royal clothes, such as the lehenga choli, to her beautiful jewelry taste, which inspires bridal fashion designers today. Post-independent Indian fashion. Indian fashion has grown to leave a distinct impression on the fashion scene worldwide. Traditional garments such as the sari, Gagra choli, and dhoti are still prominent in today's fashion landscape. Indian fashion is known for its exquisite embroidered designs on dresses, saris, skirts, shirts, and shorts, as well as its incorporation of Western style. Ritu Kumar, an Indian designer and textile print master, reintroduced hand-block printing in Bengal. She employed Zardozi embroidery on her clothing, which was popular during the Mughal Empire and was used on royal gowns. This resurrected the embroidery art, which has since become synonymous with Indian fashion, particularly in creating bridal robes. This created a path for non-governmental organizations, NGOs, to come in and help restore long-forgotten tie-dye weaving, embroidery, and printing skills. Bollywood fashion. Bollywood became the fashion trendsetter in the 1960s and has remained so to this day. Later in the 1950s, Western culture was introduced into Indian cinema, demonstrated by the actors and actresses changing their outfits. Indian fashion designers are currently creating outfits with a modern, trendy, and attractive appearance. The Indian fashion sector has seen enormous domestic and global growth since the liberalization of the Indian economy. In Western countries, Indian patterns are now sought after. Some traditional garments have been updated to appeal to a modern audience. The sari's origins may be traced back to the Indus Valley culture, which is considered one of the world's oldest garments. The Sanskrit word for sari is sati, which means a strip of cloth. The sari, also known as the sari, is a single unstitched piece of garment with a length ranging from 4.5 to 8 meters. It is draped over the lower torso, with the front end pleated into wrinkles and the other end draped over the shoulders as a palu. The sari is the most loved and well-known Indian design. It is simple and attractive, and both young and senior women may wear it. Weddings, casual, formal, and traditional ceremonies are all situations where a sari can be worn. Lehenga is a lovely skirt that is stitched, patterned, and beaded to give you that sophisticated look. Coupled with a choli blouse, you get a stylish look that can be worn for any occasion. According to Buddhist and Sanskrit literature, the three-piece outfit, poshak, was utilized as clothes. The bottom garment is called antariya, the chest band is called stanapada, and the shoulder or head veil is called udariya. Antariya looks like a modern-day dhoti, with one end of the material wrapped around the waist, the other slid between the legs and tucked into the ornamental pleats at the belly. Banvasani, today's lehenga or gagra, is derived from it. Palazzo pants are flared-bottom traditional Indian pants. Fashion designers have come up with several designs that give it a sophisticated look. Indian fashion is still a force to be reckoned with in the global fashion industry. Indian designs have weathered the test of time because of their rich history and culture and have evolved over the ages to take the fashion world by storm. Its one-of-a-kind patterns and high-quality materials make it stand out. The Sherwani jacket is embroidered and adorned to offer you a traditional Indian style with a Western twist. This is a popular jacket among men. For Indian males, the Sherwani is the most popular outfit, especially for weddings and family functions. Sherwani's origins can be traced all the way back to the Mughal dynasty. It was initially the dress code of Turkish and Persian aristocracy, but it has now evolved into the typical attire of the common person. It's a long coat with a collar that's buttoned up, and it's normally below the knee in length. It's worn with a kutra, salwar, or churidar pajamas. The fit is crucial. It should be close to the body to give an attractive appearance. If you want to go for a formal style, wear the kurti as a dress and accessorize with jewelry, a belt, and flat shoes, or match it with a lehenga for a smart, sophisticated look. Style Carrot has a variety of dresses with a current design that you may look at. Salwar kameez is thought to have originated during the Mughal Empire and is heavily influenced by Persian fashion. The costume comprises loose-fitting pants, salwar, a tunic, kameez, and a dupatta. Anarkali suits are one of the most popular salwar kameez styles. The distinguishing feature is a long flared kurta with 6 to 8 kalis flaring from the waistband, either ankle length or floor length. It has a lot of intricate embroidery work on it, which gives it an attractive appeal. Cotton, silk, velvet, georgette, chiffon, rayon, and other textiles can be used to make the costume. The garment is available in several silhouettes, each with print or embroidery for a unique aesthetic. India is a cosmopolitan country, and its vast diversity is represented in the variety of traditional clothes and wearing styles that vary from state to state, which is uncommon elsewhere in the globe. It has been passed down through the many generations from one subculture to the next, and evidence of Indians being fashionable dates back to the Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro periods. The Indian fashion business has undergone significant changes as a result of globalization. The sari, kurti, lehenga, and many other classic Indian patterns are still relevant and worn as the globe changes and westernization spreads. Well, there you have it, the history of Indian traditional fashion. What did you like most about this way of dressing? Please let us know in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Until the next one, stay safe and stay tuned.